in the richest country on earth, it's an outrage that full-time workers are living in poverty. And that's what's happening right now with full-time minimum wage workers. They cannot lift their families out of poverty, even though they are doing exactly what everybody says we want you to do. So there's no need for anybody in this room or anybody in the country to apologize for saying, you know what, I need a raise. And I need a raise because this money is going to help me to raise my family out of poverty.
The theater keeps us at part-time also so that they don't have to pay benefits. So, but
So how many hours are you working in a week now?
I could work anywhere from 7 hours to 30. It
Not above
depends
30?
on, yeah.
And how much are you earning an hour?
$8.65.
$8.65.
But to give you a good idea of what it's like to be living at this level, this actually is what I'm dealing with right now. I just spent all of my money to get a tank of oil for heat, and the nozzle broke. I don't have the money to fix the nozzle. So I have a tank full of oil and no heat in my house.
So tell me a little bit about what living paycheck to paycheck means for you.
Well, actually, I'd like to know how people are doing that, because I'm even living below that. Right? It's like, oh God, now I need to wait 3 paychecks before I can get this. It's like living paycheck to paycheck is now I'm waiting for my Friday check so I can get the nozzle so I can get heat back, you know.
Right,
and
right.
Meanwhile, anything else I needed to do has to go by the wayside. I also need work done on my car, and I keep praying to God that it makes it until the 3rd paycheck so I can get that done.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm not on food stamps, so, you know, buying food takes up a lot of my, so it's like I'm just having enough to get gas to get to work and get food so I can live. And I go crazy when I hear the people that still think we are quote unquote lazy. Like you said, we are the hardest working people, and any of those CEOs, if they had to actually earn their paychecks and work and live like we do, I think they'd all drop of heart attacks. You know? It's like...
So let me ask you a little bit about, so you're talking about the next paycheck maybe will go for the oil nozzle, and then do you ever catch up? Are you ever able to catch up?
No, you don't. And I still am paying my student loans.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, and that keeps, I have to keep getting forbearances, deferments, because I can't pay them because I'm trying to survive.
我之前咧喺個叫做丹文軒頭嗰間公司做好多門窗啊。
I used to work as a worker at a company called Diamond Windows, installing windows.
我喺度做咗有8年啦。
I worked there for 8
咁
years.
咧我都體會到啦，即係講佢嗰啲工人咧，因為工資低啊嘛，所以佢就即係老闆叫佢哋做嗰啲計件就使個時薪嘅，咁佢咪搏命咁做咯，做快啲做完咗以後再想打地份工。
We were paid per pieces, so we weren't actually paid per hour. So a lot of the workers, because they weren't making enough and they were trying to make more, they would try to work and do as many pieces as possible, and so that they could move on and go to their next job to make ends meet.
但係講呢個問題咧，佢因為係咁趕住做工咧，有時就失去安全問題，又自己又整傷，又有工傷意外。
Because we were just really living from hand to mouth, and they were really trying to make as much as possible. A lot of times what they sacrifice is safety, their own safety.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor and I have an associate, and I have a minor in French. I speak 3 languages. I wanted to work at the United Nations. That's my big dream, or a non-profit organization. I'm working at Applebee's as a waitress, making $2.63 an hour. I don't even make 10% of 15% of the tips that you're supposed to be making. Even if I was working, you know, like at a Burger King or something, making $8 an hour, that wouldn't be enough, you know, to support my child and to support myself and stuff like that.
Tell us a little bit, how old is your son?
My daughter,
Your daughter?
11 years old.
11 years old.
Yeah.
And what's this experience been like for her?
It's difficult. It's difficult because, I mean, before I graduated, and, you know, I had all these big dreams and, you know, thoughts that I was gonna be making, you know, $140,000 a year, you know, with my degree, my education. And I mean, she sees me as a waitress. She wanna be a plastic surgeon. And I want to encourage that. I don't want her to be on debt like I am on debt right now with the student loans.
and they started me out with $8.15 an hour for a job that I have over 7 years of experience in maintenance. And I do the maintenance, the cleaning, making sure the trash and all that stuff is, you know, the store is clean and presentable for their members, the bathrooms and the parking lot and all that.
Right.
After being there for 90 days, they gave me a whole 25-cent raise, which now I'll be making $8.45 an hour. And they cut my hours from 32 to 28 hours, so. And it's,
So no increase, it ends up being no increase.
it ends up being no increase because you're not getting more hours and you're getting paid like minimum wage. And I have 3 grown kids. My kids are 23, 22, no, 24, 23, and 18, sorry. And I have a son that's still in high school and I'm struggling to like, do I feed him or do I pay my rent? Do I pay my gas and light bill or do I, you know, feed him? Because that's my main thing is like, I get $200 a month from food stamps and that's not enough to feed an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And making minimum wage, it's less than, I probably bring home $205 after taxes. And I myself.
$205 a week?
$205 a week.
Además de que yo tengo 2 niños que quiero, si es posible, darle una buena educación y con este tipo de empleo no me es posible.
I have 2 children. I want to provide them with a really good education, but with this wage, it's not possible.
Me gusta mi trabajo, pero quisiera ganar un poco más porque la situación está muy difícil y ganando este poco de dinero no puedo dar buena calidad de vida a mis hijos.
Right.
I like my job, but it would help if I got paid a little bit more, and it would increase the quality of life for my children.